How's it going, everybody? Welcome into a brand new video. The past couple of days, I've been uploading some games from earlier on in the season because I wanted to showcase specific Pokemon. However, I have been doing my battles and I have just reached the veteran rank as well. So I wanted to show you some more recent, some more updated battles with one of the craziest core breaker teams that I have ever built. I got so many top lefts in these 3 sets that took me from 2284 up to veteran that I couldn't even believe it. A lot of battles here in this video, so let's get right into it. The team for today is Shadow Alolan Ninetales with Powdered Snow. This Pokemon is such a beast, such a monster of a core breaker. I also have Charjabug and Diggersby in the back. So game number 1, I'm gonna lead into Dedenne. What I like to do here is do 4 Powdered Snows, wait a turn, and then make the switch into Charjabug because it allows me to get off the full Volt Switch and not take a parabolic charge on the Alolan Ninetales. It obviously hits the Charjabug instead. You'll see that a few times throughout this video. In comes the Primeape. I know I need 2 charge attacks regardless, so I go ahead and throw that one there. Opponent is gonna go for the close combat though, which is a little bit surprising, but after that, I do think I can get the full Volt Switch down and take control of Switch Advantage. Now, Diggersby is such a beast. When it is aligned versus something like a Dedenne versus a Bastiodon, it is so imposing. And I think that if you're able to take control of Switch Advantage with this team, it's absolutely devastating for the opponent. I get the second X Scissor against this opposing Dedenne as well. I was wondering which move was more efficient. It turns out it is X Scissor, but just barely in that matchup. Now that Diggersby comes out, I've really got no fear. I expect this to be Parabolic Charge, and it is, which is double resisted there by the Diggersby, and the opponent straight up top lefts. Once they realize I've taken control of Switch Advantage and I had the Diggersby on the Dedenne, they don't see any other play for themselves. Game number 2. This team is also very strong against opposing flyers, whether it's Corviknight, whether it's Drifblim. This Powder Snow Alolan Ninetales and Volt Switch Charjabug combination, very, very good versus flying types. Also very good versus grass too. So if you do see like a Superior or even a Cradilly, this team is absolute stonks. Looks like Drifblim is going to use their first shot of the game, throw the Icy Wind. I mean, if it was Mystical Fire, it probably would have hurt quite a bit. Icy Wind, I probably could have withstood it, but I know that these Astonishes are adding up really quickly as well. Opponent is going to go ahead and shield. Now they swap into Azu, and I do pivot into the Charjabug. I bank the Weather Ball on my Alolan Ninetales for a rainy day, and now the Azu is going to face off against a electric type in the Charjabug, obviously. Gonna go for good timing here. One thing I will say that's very difficult about this team is mastering the 4-turn Volt Switch. 4-turn moves are not something that we use very often anymore. This is not the old Hypno days from years past or even when Volt Switch is super common. Getting the timing right with this Pokemon, especially versus 3-turn users, is really tricky. But we do our best in this video. My, oh yeah, this game is already over, right? Because my Volt Switch connects into the Drifblim after I shield. I'm able to land the X Scissor into the Marowak, and then I bring in the Diggersby. I still have the Weather Ball banked as well, so I had insurance, and that game was GG's. Let's take on this next opponent. They're gonna lead Primeape. Now, fighters are a little bit tricky for this team. Obviously, we have a neutral Alolan Ninetales in the lead, and we also have the Charjabug, so we do have a couple ways to deal with them, but you do have to get creative at times. Steelix comes in. I have really no fear here because Steelix is running Thunder Fangs. I'm not super worried about an Earthquake. Oh, excuse me, it is Dragon Tail. I'm not super worried about Earthquake or anything like that. I assume this is going to be Psychic Fangs, Crunch, maybe even a Breaking Swipe. Not many Steelixes are running the hard-hitting ground type move, and after the Scorching Sands, it's not that much of a threat anyway. So I'm going to overcharge here a little bit. Opponent's going to just YOLO these moves as fast as they can, which honestly makes sense. Every 10 seconds is getting back to the timer, so I'm wary of the switch in now. I'm going to overcharge because of that, and then throw the Fire Punch. I think this is maybe enough. It's going to be really close. Steelix actually does get KO, which is super nice, and I instantly pivot into Charjabug. So I'm gonna put myself in a position where I'm resisting the Karate Chops with my bug typing, and I also bank that energy on the Diggersby. Oh, they come in with Bastiodon. Very, very nice that we were able to save our Diggersby with a move in the back. That is going to be absolutely instrumental. But as you can tell right now, this looks tough. This is a Primeape double steal team, which is difficult for my team to deal with. I got to be honest, Bastiodon is tough for this team. Probably the worst case scenario, if I'm being candid, is you lead into Empoleon or Scizor. You safe switch the Charjabug and your opponent has like a Bastiodon or something like that in the back. That is worst case situation for this team, although that team that I just described is ABA weak to ground. You'd be surprised how many times I ran into that over these past sets. Weather Ball will connect into the Primeape, and I look for the Powder Snow down, but my opponent does get to a move. I know the smackdowns are gonna add up, and I don't wanna take any additional damage, so I'm gonna shield the Rage Fist. And now it's just a battle of crunchy smackdown damage versus spammy Weather Balls. And I gotta try to get off as many of these Weather Balls as I possibly can. Now that I look at the health here, I think that maybe 2 more, plus a 3rd to get the shield. I think we could do it. It's gonna be super close though. Swap to the Diggersby, throw the Fire Punch. Will we get the shield here? That is the main question from this Bastiodon. Yes, we actually do get the shield. And unfortunately for Diggersby, it's unable to get to another Fire Punch, but I still have a shield of my own. And I'm closing in on the Weather Ball right here on alignment. Will it be enough, everybody? Weather Ball getting thrown by the Alolan Ninetales, and
see ya. I always love when a little bar slides across the bottom of the screen, letting me know the battle is over. Awesome, awesome. I'm so glad we beat Basti.
Speaking of Bastiodon, we got another one here. This video is going to feature a lot of top lefts and also a lot of us beating up on Bastiodon. So we did lose some of those games, don't get me wrong, but the games that we won, you're going to see them. Opponent safe swaps into the Shadow Torterra. Now, this is where having Bug-type X-Scissor is really nice, obviously, because this is a part Grass-type Pokemon. Oh my goodness, that did so much damage. The only negative, though, is that the Torterra's ground typing is going to resist our Volt Switches so heavily that we're forced to throw a second time. If the opponent shields, I'm just going to throw again. Let's see what they decide to do. They do shield, so he just goes right back to it. Will we get a shield knockout here on the second X-Scissor? Let's find out. Oh no, they survive. Oh man, that's actually really, really bad. Coming back to Bastiodon, we go Diggersby. Let's see what their 3rd Pokemon is. It's a Marowak. All right. Oh, not great timing by me. That Mudslap did come through there. I'm gonna throw the first Scorching Sands, hope for a debuff. No, this is one of the biggest changes to Scorching Sands over the past season update, is you don't get that guaranteed debuff, which makes this matchup a lot more tricky. Bone Club does connect, and I am able to get to 1 more Scorching Sands to pick up the KO. I think in order to win this game though, I probably need to catch on the Ninetales, and my swap is available. So I'm just gonna go for it. Oh no, disastrous situation as the opposing Bastiodon does not throw the move. The question is, can I throw enough Weather Balls to get this Bastiodon low enough to where I can come in with Diggersby, survive a Flamethrower, and land a Scorching Sands? Because our catch attempt failed terribly. I don't know, it's gonna be close, you guys. I probably could have gone for 1 more Powder Snow there, because I think I survived this with like 2 or 3 HP, but that's okay. I think this is within range. Let's see. Diggersby comes in. I need to survive this, and then I need 1 more quick attack to get to the Scorching Sands. I survive. Oh, and we get it, let's go. This is double super effective damage into the Bastiodon. See ya, my friend. Even though we weren't able to take control switch advantage, we still won that game. So I'm very, very happy with that. Bastiodon not being able to stack 2 moves is honestly what saved us there. Next game, my friend Math Magic asked me how I beat Talonflame with this team. Well, Timmy, you're about to see. We get Talonflame in the lead in this battle here. Shadow Talonflame at that. Flame Charge does get shielded up there. I know the Charjabug is gonna do a lot of damage with the Volt Switches. If they stay in, I will be able to get off 2 more Volt Switches here. Oh, and they don't KO me. And I actually am able to get off this X-Scissor as well, because I threw 2 Volt Switches for 8 turns. I threw the X-Scissor on turn 9, and the Incinerate did not apply until turn 10. So we are able to get away with that one. They come in out with the Wigglytuff, and it does have the bow. I've got a pretty high ranked bow Wigglytuff, if I do admit. It is pretty nice. But I think that if I land the Dazzling Gleam into this thing, I might be able to also get to the Weather Ball against the Talon. Let's see if this KOs though. Gonna be close. Oh, all right. We were able to pick up the knockout, and we get the Weather Ball versus the Cradilly. This is massive. This is absolutely insane. Getting that is huge, because now it puts our Diggersby within punching range of taking down this Cradilly. And I don't think that Talonflame has the energy to throw another move, so let's see what happens. It's also very helpful that Talonflame is running Fly and Flame Charge these days and not Brave Bird. It's very nice. We use our final shield on the Grass Knot. Opponent goes up for another Bullet Seed, and we punish them with a Fire Punch to pick up the KO here. Talonflame comes in, and it doesn't matter what it throws. They actually top left on 1 HP. They quit the game. Next battle, let's check it out. Ninetales into Unova Stunfisk. There is so much ground in this meta, so much flying. and so much grass in the Cradily, this Pokemon always has play. And in the meanwhile, we are resisting the sucker punches from the Furret too, because we are a fairy type. So I don't know, I was looking at the meta heading into Milwaukee, and if I was commentating the event, I do think Shadow Alolan Ninetales would be on my pick list. Yes, it suffers mightily versus Pokemon like Talonflame, like Charizard, but come on, Ninetales is just the truth, I'm telling you. Gonna go here for the Dazzling Gleam into this opposing Furret and pick up the knockout. We're at 1 shield each, 2 total. They come in now with the Annihilate, and I'm so glad that I maintained Switch. Plus, we get a Weather Ball to boot. Weather Ball hopefully will take this final shield. We do get the shield with the Weather Ball, which is absolutely huge. Coming out with the Charjabug, opponent goes for 1 counter into the Rage Fist, which is no problem for our Charjabug this early on in the matchup. Volt Switch is connecting. I've got the discharge here. I wait for the potential swap out. There it comes. In comes Diggersby. And they quit. They realize that there is no way to come back in that matchup. Diggersby has that power, has the ability to just shut down opponents. Giratina, Altered, Shadow in the lead. They go to Azumarill. I go to Charjabug shortly thereafter. So I guess I could have banked a bit more energy on the Ninetales, but I'm confident that the Powder Snow damage plus 1 single Weather Ball would threaten that Giratina or Altered form. So I feel pretty good about going to Charjabug right here. I know the first discharge is not going to be enough. Now the question becomes, do I want to spend a shield to carry energy into the Tina matchup, or do I just want to throw this move? I think I choose the latter because I don't want to give up my shields this early in case that Giratina does have something like Ancient Power, which would threaten our Alolan Ninetales. Also, I pivot into the Ninetales here because I realized that Diggersby probably has a solid matchup against the Giratina, and I don't really need one of the other Pokemon to beat it. I'm gonna go ahead and shield here. Nice, we shield the Ancient Power, which is huge. Opponent comes in with a Quagsire. This is honestly going great. This is going like swimmingly, if I may say. We're gonna go ahead and throw the Weather Ball. It does connect into the Quagsire. Gonna go for another Weather Ball, but the opponent gets to the move. This might be the Stone Edge, so I'm gonna go ahead and shield. Opponent throws a cheeky Aqua Tail though, so we're forced to go ahead and get off our second Weather Ball here to try to KO or get the shield, and we get the ladder. We got the X-Scissor, we combo play into the Charjabug, and honestly, it doesn't even matter if this Giratina Shadow Claws down our Charjabug because we have a full health Diggersby and a half health Alolan Ninetales. Plus, we are able to get off a discharge here into the Dragon type and soften it up just a little bit more. Coming out with the Ninetales, opponent probably thinks they have a chance, and the only slight lose condition I think that I even have in this game at this point is like double Ancient Power boost? I don't know, triple? I don't think that's even possible. Anyway, we don't need to worry. Another top left for this Shadow Alolan Ninetales team. We lead into Torterra. Double super effective ice type damage into the Mud Slapper here. And honestly, I have no clue why they are staying in this matchup, but we take those, all right? They must be weak to Ninetales in the back in some way. So the opponent does go for a move. Even if this is Sand Tomb or something, I do want to shield. Turns out it's a Frenzy Plant. And they come in out with their Togekiss. Oh my goodness. Shadow Alolan Ninetales feasting here in this matchup. We do need to worry about charge attack priority. The Togekiss would win it, as you see right here. However, because we do have the shield and we have the Weather Ball, we go ahead and stay in, throw the move, and try to pick up the KO. I think we need 1 more Powder Snow if I remember. No, actually we don't even need it. Nice, Ninetales, beast mode. We can survive 1 more Mud Slap, I hope. In comes a Carbink. I'm so glad we didn't pull the trigger and try to switch because now we've got the Diggersby. They come in with a Charjabug to meet the Torterra. And honestly, you could throw a Stone Edge here. You could one-shot our Charjabug. It doesn't matter because Diggersby has the rest of this game on lock. Opponent, top lefts, realizes that there is no way to win that game. Friend Swerve in this next battle. They're gonna lead Wigglytuff. Fairy-type Pokemon in the lead. Pretty bulky. Let's see if we can hit it with the Dazzling Gleam. Let's see what that does. Gonna go up here for our 7 Powder Snows into the Dazzling Gleam, trying to throw in good timing. And then I believe, if I recall this, I think what I like to do is swap to the Charjabug. Actually, yes, we did go to the Charjabug. The opponent banked a lot of energy, so we do need to remind that. Also, a fun fact about these 2 Pokemon, I've got a pretty high ranked Charjabug, and it still wins the charge attack priority over the Cradily, which is wild, right? But it's good to know, because those acids and bullet seeds are going to line up, generally speaking, with the 4-turn Volt Switch. especially the second Rock Tomb on Acid, and basically every Rock Tomb on Bullet Seed, right? Gonna go ahead and throw the second X-Scissor. Opponent shields this time, and I'm gonna let this go. I honestly am considering Powder Snowing down with the Ninetales, and we're gonna try it. 2, 3, 4, 5 full Powder Snow down of the Cradilly. What a devastating turn of events. They have a Bastiodon in the back. We know they have a weakened Wigglytuff as well. Icy Wind is gonna be the hardest hitting charge attack from here on out, so I am going to shield. Opponent, very clever though, goes for the Swift, and we go for a gutsy, greediest chief fast attack down in order to pick up the KO. Opponent top lefts, they realize there's no way to win that battle. If you've enjoyed this core breaking team, let me know down in the comments below. We are almost done with the video, but we've got a few more games to go. So if you're still with me, thank you so much. We've got a Togekiss in this next battle. We know we're gonna lose that charge attack priority, but I like locking them into this because then it forces them, right? If I'm gonna give a shield, they're gonna give a shield. Otherwise, they're gonna lose their fairy type and I will keep mine. Weather Ball does take the first shield of the game, and the second Weather Ball is only 4. Opponent actually swaps into the Galarian Weezing. And I know this Pokemon has Sludge. It's probably got Brutal Swing. It might have Overheat. And I know the Sludge is 5 Fairy Wind, so we swap into Diggersby to soak the Sludge. Blah, I don't really care. That's nothing. That's nothing to Diggersby, right? Diggersby is such a tank, such a beast, and the ground typing just eats Sludge all day long. Next move is gonna be a Brutal Swing, so we really have nothing to worry about when it comes to this Pokemon. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Fire Punch here just to get it off the field. I've got enough energy, I'm satisfied, right? I'm satiated. Opponent shields though, in an absolutely preposterous maneuver. So we go ahead and throw our own Fire Punch to stall out the timer and get back to our switch as well. We go Charjabug. We try to zap this Togekiss, but it doesn't quite work. Hoping this is Aura Sphere. No, heads up Psyshock by the opponent. Good play by them, but the Volt Switch does come through and they top left. I don't even know what their third Pokemon was, but they were so convinced that they had no win condition that they straight up quit the game. Next battle. This is one of the reasons that Alolan Ninetales is such a solid ice type Pokemon. It's because it can take on Pokemon like Steelix. Throwing the Weather Ball into the ground and Steel type still does quite a bit of damage. I'm expecting Psychic Fangs here to try to slow down my Ninetales and weaken it. It is Psychic Fangs. Gonna stay with the Ninetales. My plan right here is to play like an ABA. Oh, there's a train coming. Is to play like an ABA and essentially have the Diggersby to take on the Steelix whenever it comes up. Corsola comes in and now Diggersby is going to go to work. It is one of the hardest counters to something like the Corsola, and they've got a Murkrow in the back. Oh my goodness, this team is preposterous. When it works, it is so, so fun, you guys. Volt Switches are coming through. Opponent realizes there is no way to win this game. And the train rolls on by. Last game of the video, everybody. We got a Togekiss. Togekiss lead yet again. Opponent's gonna stay in here for a little while. They swap now into the Gastrodon. And we're gonna stay in for a moment as well. Gonna throw the Weather Ball into the ground and water type to try to soften this thing up. I have the second Weather Ball and I do not wanna take a Water Pulse here, so we go ahead and use a shield. Body Slam, nice bait, buddy. Gonna go for another Weather Ball here. I've got close to 2, if not 2 already, so I do like my position quite a bit. We take out the Gastrodon, which is super nice. We know there's a Togekiss. Oh, and Polion, this is actually not good. This is actually very bad. This is no bueno, all right? Gonna throw the Weather Ball. Do we get a shield? No, that's pretty much expected. We have to align our Charjabug here, and if I swap out of the Alolan Ninetales there, I put myself in a position where they can come right back in with the Togekiss, and then I eventually have my Diggersby lined up against that Togekiss, which is really, really tough. Opponent is gonna go and throw the move here. I assume this is going to be Aura Sphere, and it is. Diggersby takes a big punch, but I'm pretty confident at this point that Charjabug can actually sweep the rest of this game. Let's find out, everybody. We've given a lot of shine to our Alolan Ninetales and to our Diggersby. Let's see if Charjabug can actually show why it's a member of this team, besides just being a really nifty safe switch. Double Pecks get the KO. Charjabug already has a lot of energy. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Discharge here to try to take that final shield. If I get it right here, I think I've got a very clear runway, and we do. I can soak whatever this is, and I get a full Volt Switch on the way through. Let's absolutely go. Ancient Power connects, that hurts quite a bit, but we get the Volt Switch. Oh, and Polion comes in. I probably could have overcharged just a little bit more, but I don't care. Charjabug coming to town. Chicka, 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 choo. Woo! Absolutely insane, able to sweep that back line. This team is so much fun, you guys. Shadow Alolan Ninetales is the truth. Watch out for Scizor, watch out for Empoleon. If they're running ABA Steel, they're already Maniacs anyway, so there's no shame in losing to that. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you very soon.